The story begins with a man waking up in complete darkness, confused and unsure where he is or why he cannot move, until a faint glow slowly appears ahead of him and grows bright enough to reveal it is light coming through a small crack in an eggshell surrounding him, through which he sees a forest outside. The sight only raises more questions, and before he can think further, a status screen appears in front of him, and he freezes when it states that he is a dragon egg, a claim so absurd that his mind refuses to accept it. The window expands, and a divine voice explains that it displays his abilities with numerical values. He immediately demands an explanation, but the voice answers calmly that it cannot explain anything yet, because he is still level 1. Acting without thinking, he shakes his body, loses his balance, and falls from the tree he is resting in, hitting the ground and rolling helplessly downhill until he finally stops at a river. When he looks into the water, his reflection removes all doubt, showing him the smooth shape of a dragon egg, and his shock leaves him unable to deny the truth any longer. Seeing how lost he is, the divine voice finally explains his situation, telling him that he is indeed a dragon egg, classified in this world as an F-rank monster. It warns that if his shell breaks completely, he will die instantly, meaning even the small hole he made to see outside is already dangerous. The voice continues by explaining that dragon eggs sit at the bottom of the food chain, yet they hold the potential to grow into powerful dragons if they survive long enough to hatch. Survival is rare, however, because dragon eggs are a favored food among monsters, and without legs, rolling is their only way to move. Even after hearing all this, he still struggles to accept what he has become, but he knows staying still is too risky, so he begins rolling away as fast as he can in search of safety. He rolls off a small cliff, and the system announces that his fall resistance increases from level 1 to level 2, though the impact still lowers his HP and reminds him how fragile he is. Injured and worn out, he chooses to sleep, and when he wakes to find his HP fully restored, he understands that rest completely refills his health. He continues rolling through the forest while wondering what will happen when he finally hatches, and whether his future holds endless fighting just to stay alive. Just then he notices a large insect nearby, and sensing danger, he hides behind a tree and uses his appraisal skill, which identifies the creature as an egg-eater. The moment the insect notices him, it charges with clear intent to kill, and he rolls away as fast as he can, already knowing that he cannot escape forever by speed alone. The creature chases him relentlessly to the edge of a cliff, and when it leaps forward to swallow him, he dodges at the last moment, slamming into it with all his strength and knocking it off the cliff. The monster tumbles down the slope and dies on impact, marking the first battle he ever wins, and the system immediately announces that he has gained 12 experience points and has reached level 5, fully restoring and maximizing his stats while unlocking the conditions for evolution. 2 choices appear before him: Baby Dragon and Little Dragon, and when he hesitates, the system explains the difference, describing the Little Dragon as a dwarf breed that grows larger than a bear and is known for strong fire breath, while the Baby Dragon lacks combat strength early on but holds vast potential to evolve into many different dragon types. The system also notes that baby dragons are highly sought after by both monsters and adventurers, making them constant targets, which initially leads him to choose the Little Dragon as the safer path. The moment he makes that decision, the divine voice intervenes, urging him not to limit himself and reminding him that greater heights demand greater risks. He begins to reconsider, recalling that the baby dragon's strength lies in its future possibilities, and he starts to suspect that the Little Dragon may have strict limits on how far it can evolve. The thought of choosing safety over growth troubles him, and he decides that living with danger is better than living with regret, even if the path ahead becomes harder. He changes his choice, selecting the baby dragon, and the system accepts his decision without hesitation, and his body immediately begins to change, his form reshaping as he evolves into a yellow baby dragon, and with the transformation comes a surge of new skills along with major increases to his existing stats. Despite the evolution, his HP and MP remain low, leaving him drained and unable to move much, making it clear that rest is necessary before he can take another step forward in this new form. Soon, he starts feeling hungry, and his stomach growls loudly enough to make it clear that he needs food. He looks at the worm he defeated earlier and realizes that it no longer seems disgusting, and as he understands that growing stronger requires proper nourishment, his dragon instincts take over and push aside any remaining hesitation. He devours the worm and then lies down to rest, and when he wakes later, his body feels refreshed and full of energy. He moves to the river and looks at his reflection, fully accepting that he has been reincarnated into this world, even though he finds it strange that he has no memories of his past life and cannot remember who he once was or what kind of person he used to be. Just then, he notices several dark worms nearby, and instead of running, he charges straight at them, using his new skills to defeat the first group quickly. As he continues fighting, he unlocks more abilities, making each battle smoother and faster, and once the area is clear, hunger returns. Remembering how awful the dark worms taste, he avoids eating them and tries nearby mushrooms instead, only to discover too late that they are poisonous, a mistake that teaches him never to eat random plants again. With that lesson learned, he moves deeper into the forest in search of better prey and soon encounters a gray wolf, which is larger than him, but still falls to his baby breath and dragon punch. The flames lightly scorch the wolf, and the smell reminds him of cooked meat, leading him to roast it further before taking a bite and realizing how good it tastes. He soon defeats another gray wolf just as easily, and this pushes him to level 20 out of 25, making it clear that he needs 5 more levels before he can evolve again. As he eats, he notices that hunting, fighting, and feeding like this no longer feel unnatural, and living as a dragon is slowly becoming normal. Even so, having only the divine voice for company begins to feel lonely, and he finds himself wishing for a companion. Not long after, unfamiliar voices echo through the forest, and although he cannot understand the language, he recognizes them as human and feels a sense of comfort. He hides behind a tree and watches a small group of adventurers approach, briefly considering showing himself, believing that his small size and harmless appearance might keep them from attacking, and even imagining that they might treat him like a pet. Acting on that hope, he steps out and tries to appear non-threatening, but the adventurers see him only as prey, and their leader slashes him across the chest without hesitation. Right after, the man uses magic and numbs his body, leaving him unable to move. Helpless, he lies there and watches the adventurers close in. Their intent is clear. They are going to kill him. He understands too late how foolish it is to believe a dragon could ever coexist with humans. All the struggle to survive and evolve now seems meaningless. But just as the leader raises his weapon to deliver the final blow, a female adventurer steps forward and stops him, arguing that there is no need to kill something so small and harmless. Confused by the sudden turn, he feels warmth spread through his body and realizes she is healing him. And when he uses appraisal, he learns her name is Miria. He notes that she spends what little MP she has to save him. And as she speaks, the system grants him the Greek language skill, allowing him to begin understanding human speech. But the fragile calm breaks when screams echo through the forest ahead. Miria instantly recognizes the voices as her companions and moves to run toward them, and he reaches out to stop her, desperately warning through gestures that what lies ahead is too dangerous to face alone. She pulls away and runs regardless, leaving him behind, and he cannot ignore the thought that the one who saved his life is now in danger because of him. He forces his body to move as he follows her, but when he arrives, he gets frightened to see the monster they are fighting, a C-rank rock dragon with immense endurance, far beyond anything he has faced before. Miria is already injured, and when he calls out to her, the rock dragon shifts its attention to him, but he is just frozen in place, wondering if this is where his struggle finally ends.
And that is it for today. If you enjoyed this recap, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and feel free to write whatever you want in the comments section. Thank you for watching.